Greetings everyone and welcome to a new first stage of the channel where today we're going to be checking out Mini Settlers, a game that's been out for about a month as of the recording. It came out on the 8th of August 2024 for those of you who might be viewing this far in the future, and is probably best described as what you might imagine Anno would be if it was developed by the developer of Shapez. It is a super clean, minimalistic city builder with a very strong focus on the logistics of running a city. So much more in vein of like the Annos and the Settlers rather than, for example, the City Skylines type of city builder. This is all about taking product and moving product where product needs to be, and then prosperity happens. But it is delivered in an incredibly simple and super comfy package, in my opinion, and I'm very excited to showcase this for you. Now, I've had a little bit of time with the game. In fact, I've done these two islands, so I haven't completely finished this one. The little gold houses show that the kind of level of completion of the various scenarios. But for this one, we are actually going to jump into the tutorial island, as I feel that this offers a really good glimpse into what this game can be, and then we'll just go as far as we can in about an hour of playtime. Alright then. Now, as ever, we have a tutorial. Do all of the things. Show me that you can actually manage the controls. Fair enough. Right, open the handbook, which would be over here. There we go. Let's go back. And change time speed. There we are. Are we happy about that now? Right, construct a water well. Now we are getting to the nitty-gritty. Construct a water well. I believe it wants us to put one there. An apple farm over here. And a lumber camp down by here. We can also rotate buildings, which is very nice. Right, we want an apple farm. To rotate it, you just press the R button. And the little overlay there is telling me how effective this current position would be. We lose a little bit, but that doesn't really impact the percentage too terribly much. There we go. Pop that one there. We next want a water well. We're going to grab one of these. Now, these ones, I could put it there for 100%, but you know what? For once, I'm not going to sequence break the tutorial. We'll put it where it wants it to be. Finally, we want a lumber camp. Now, for some reason, whenever I see lumber camp or the word lumber, I think of a place that cuts logs into planks, into lumber, rather than what I would consider this being well, I guess forestry is kind of a catch-all term for someone who is both planting trees and harvesting them in a sustainable way. But nevertheless, just a word to the wise, as I have gone to the next land, I kept building these, thinking I was building lumber camps. My lord. The power of words. Right, let's pop that one down right there, and once that is built, we should be good to get our next thing. Right, build roads with anchors, and destroy roads. Very well, let's do all of these. Now, roads. Right, R, or clicking the middle mouse button while building a road, will place an anchor on the last road space to lock it in place, which is actually a really cool little thing. So we'll place an anchor there, and then we'll go all the way down there. Boom. There we are. And now we will also build a little road out to there. And then I am promptly going to destroy said road. Now, how was it that we do that? We need Z. There we go. There we are. Get rid of you. And then we'll place this one back there. Of course, you can use the hotkeys, and I do recommend that you do. So we've built roads. I need to destroy even more. Why? Okay, fine. I will build more roads just to destroy them. It feels very silly, but we'll do it your way, game. And then we need to place another anchor road. There we go. Now I need to destroy this one. I could have done that in a bit of a better order, I suppose. Right, now we need to construct a sawmill and construct a stone quarry. Now, stone quarries are going to want to be around the stone. I just love how clean this UI is. Just giving you the information you need. There's not loads of numbers, just is this thing there? Is it not there? Is it within the working area? Is it not? So on and so forth. Right, we're going to want to pop down a sawmill, and I may as well, actually, a little bit of foreknowledge here, I suppose. I know that the roads really don't like being too close together, so we'll pop this road just about there and leave 3 spaces, because then I can put another node in this road if I absolutely need to. But one thing you will notice, this is, in fact, eating up the trees, as one would imagine. Right, let's also plop down a little something down here. Perhaps we'll pop it right, well, let's pop it a little bit further back, just so that we're not potentially getting in the way of the water over there. So there we are. Stone quarry and built. There we are. Now, if we hover over these, it'll actually tell us how fast it will work, and what it requires to work. Now, I need to construct a city center. Let's go ahead and pop that one. I may as well just pop it right in the middle. We'll angle it up just a little bit, though. We'll pop this here, city center, construct houses, and complete house request, and then complete the population goal of 120, though the overall goal is 200. Now, this one actually needs to be built and will require 5 lumber and 5, or timber, I guess, and 5 rock to get that on the go. Very well, let's go ahead and start building up these roads. We'll just drop a little node there. There we are. And as for this one, since there is a small possibility I might want to put some more water there, I'll just go ahead and place a node there just for now. There we go. Right, we should see some apples coming all the way down here, as I do believe you need apples in order to quarry. That's fair. Apples, I guess, are very catch-all here. They're just like, apples are food. Food are apples. Fair enough. Right, there we go. And now it's just a matter of time to let that happen. So we'll speed it up. Okay, we've got the last stone making its way down here. Now, one thing to note is that these places don't really request too much in advance. They have a little bit of stockpile of resources, so they never really stop working, but they won't request until it's being used, even if they kind of know that it's going to be used up in a certain time. So there's no kind of prediction on when they're going to be using up resources. Just, can it store resources? If so, send a request. Now, we want to set up some houses as well, so let's go ahead and check these out. Now, these each are going to require 2 wood and 2 stone, and it'll take 5 seconds to build, and then after that, it's going to need water and food. Now, if we have a look at this, you notice I can't place it out here. I have to place it completely within the boundary of the tower, and I kind of like that, honestly. Let's go ahead and build just a couple, and notice how they are themselves expanding the boundary of the tower, which is also pretty cool. And we're going to draw that out on this side as well. There we go. And then I just want to connect these up. There we are. That will do nicely. And then over this side, much the same. Actually, you know what? I think it would probably be best to have a node there. There we are. It's a little bit of a kind of the settlers vibe in a way, in that I like having more individual nodes in the road and having more carriers moving things around, though the carriers aren't like limited to a population, and I'm not entirely certain that they don't speed up over shorter distances, but it does seem, rather over longer distances, so there's like a static amount of time to move something from one end of a road to the other end of a road, regardless of the road's length. But it just feels right to me to kind of break the roads down a little bit more. Now, I need to construct a total of 10 houses, so let me continue on with that. And here is where having room to have a couple of nodes in the roads really helps out. There we go. That'll take care of our 10 houses, though it's going to take a little while since we're only pulling from a single quarry to get all of that stone up here. And the quarry does take some time to work, so I'm kind of thinking that maybe we could do with another one. So let's go ahead and pop something down around here. Now, this one is going to need access to apples, and I see no particular reason not to make that an easier route. So let's go ahead and, actually, let me just use the hotkey. It's a lot faster, to bring those apples over here, and then I can even bring the stone straight down into the side of the city that we've got going right now. In terms of our actual production of apples, though, it is starting to look like that one little apple farm is beginning to struggle a little bit. So probably time for us to make a little adjustment. I wouldn't mind getting another apple farm, for example, down here, and maybe this one can just feed into the city itself. So let's go ahead and set that up. We'll have that one just kind of line it up so that it'll be going in the right direction. We'll pop this one right about here, I think, and we'll get a little bit of water down here as well, and we can pump that one there, draw a road up, draw a road out. There we go. Lovely. Now that will deliver food direct, though I do wonder if this place will also try and satisfy the needs of the other areas around here. It certainly might. Now, in terms of the water, this is becoming a problem because so much water is being required by the various houses around here. And if we have a look at them, You'll notice that this one is requesting water. It's now got it. And that has increased the amount of population that can live in this house. And likewise with food, it's going to request food. And once it's got that, then it'll increase the population. And in total, we can have 12 people living in each house. Hence the goal of 120, I suppose. But in regards to that, it is pulling food and water away from the rest of my industries, which is a bit of a problem. If I have to put a finger on it, I would kind of like my industries to get a little bit more of the priority, because without that, it's going to be a little bit hard to go through. Though that being said, the stone quarries no longer needed, or at least for now. And we're probably going to find that is very similar for the lumber yard over there. I don't believe we have anything we can do here. Later on, we are going to be able to upgrade things, and that's going to require these more industrial components. But for the time being, this seems to be a relatively good little pattern. Now it's just a case of waiting. Before anyone says, yes, no, this is a horribly inefficient road there. If food needs to get over there, it has to go all the way around. So let's just add that in there as well. There we go. And there we go. Completed house requests. We still have to get up to 120 though, but I do believe that should happen relatively quickly. Looking at the houses, we should find that a couple of them are simply growing their size at the moment. Yeah, it's only got 10 of 12 over there. So we've got a few more requests to go, but that shouldn't take us over long. The houses do take time to make the requests, though. It isn't simply like a game like Factory Town where a house will accept something as quickly as you can kind of feed it to it with, you know, a little bit of a consumption requirement. But these ones, they take a long time after the request is fulfilled to decide what the next thing they want to request. So that does kind of put an artificial slowdown a little bit. Now, we need to construct a second city centre and construct another 10 houses, establish and construct an apple warehouse, and establish and construct a water warehouse. Okay, well, fair enough. Let's have a look at these warehouses then. So, each warehouse building can hold a single resource type, and you will have the flexibility to change it at any time. Very well, can I plonk it there? Looks like I can, and I would like to make this an apple warehouse, and this one over here we will make into a water warehouse. There we go. And that way we will have water and food quite close to where we're going to need it. However, one thing I will say is we probably don't want this anymore and want to turn this into another city centre. So goodbye, road. Let's just wait for those resources to move around. Right, okay. We've also got the forester that we can plant, and I kind of think we're going to need to, as we're going to start eating into the trees that we've got around here. Now, I could place it down here, but it's not really going to place the trees in the best place for me. Neither is it going to do it if I place it there either, if I'm perfectly honest, because it's going to take up a decent chunk of room, but I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and place it there. I'm literally making that choice based on how pretty it's going to look. Alright, there we go. This will have it will more or less cover everywhere that this forest is going to be planting trees. So that's going to secure our wood reserves. Now then, as for the city centre, let's get to building. Okay, this is not exactly the most efficient city layout. I will agree that this could perhaps be a teeny tiny bit better. Nevertheless, it should function for our purposes at the very least. Let's get that all the way up there and drop a little node there. There we go. And then, shall I actually just take this all the way around? I'm not entirely sure that is going to be useful to me, but we'll do it anyway. There we go. We've now got a circular connection there, which means that we can now link that in and hook that up, like so. And likewise, we can connect this one up. Well, there's not actually as much need to do that one anymore. Maybe if I move this one around a little bit. In fact, yes, I think so. Let's just change that road. So we'll have a point there, connect that up, and then this one can anchor and connect. There we go. This should allow us to bring water in and food in as needed, but I probably do want to have another water warehouse over here. Let's go ahead and plop that one down and switch this one over to water, and to that end we'll also add in another collection point for water. It's not as efficient certainly, but it'll do a good enough job for now. Overall, I think this should manage what we need. Right now, a lot of our food and water is having to go to providing the wood, to having to go to providing the stone. But once those have been satisfied, once the construction is complete, they'll just fill up the storage, and then that will be it. And then all of the water, all of the food will go towards our houses. So that shouldn't take us too terribly long. And we're coming up on winning the island, and there we go. Island settled successfully. You've settled 200 population. We can continue playing if we want to do more with the island. We can restart it if we feel that we could do better, or we can head to the main menu and continue the campaign, which is exactly what we're going to do. Okay, here we are on the next island. Oh, nice little wind effects there. I didn't notice that on the first one. Right, okay, so our goals presently, we've got 2 separate population centers that we need to manage. Now, one of them we can't actually interact with. Not in a direct way. We can't expand it. You notice how all of my buildings have got blue backgrounds on them. This is because these are a native population on the island. Do I have a better list of things? No, it doesn't seem that I can bring that up. But we need to get the native population up to 90. So let's actually start work on that, and then we'll begin work on our own population as well. Let's, oh, actually, here we are. We need to complete the island population goal, reach 900 islander population, that is the blue islander population, and reach 225 island native population. Kind of like the distinction between the native population and the population that I'm directly managing myself. And there we go. We've got all of the basic buildings that we had on the previous one. Now I just need to hook them all up to roads. Let's go ahead and do that. I will just pop a little one. Ah, damn it. Can't quite make all the way there. That's fine. Connect that one up as well. Connect this one down. There we go. And at this point, while I know it's not exactly the prettiest thing in the world, I will actually just skirt the cliff face there. Now, what are we going to need over here? They are wanting food, and they're also wanting... what be you? You be stone tool maker. Very well. We can certainly see what I can do about that. I could continue skirting around there. Now, one thing I would want to be careful about here is putting too much load on a single road. I think it would be better for us overall if instead I just had a couple of different routes going through here. Perhaps I could put one there, and connect this one up down here. That's one little circuit there. And I would like, if we're possible, to try and balance out the pressure that I'm going to place on any particular road. Now, going around there is going to be an awkward one. There's no real easy way to do that. Instead, going to have to do this. Yes, I know. It's awful. I really do want to get you your food soon, but I'm on it right now. It's going to just take me a few more moments, that's all. Right, we'll pop a little road there, and this way I can connect all these up. Now, obviously, this road is still going to be taking quite a lot to go through. Actually, one thing we could do here, I suppose, is remove that and just have this one connect up like so. Yeah, that works out for me. This way, this road down here can connect up there. There we are. We should start seeing food on its way, or as soon as they request anything at the very least. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to request the wood or the stone. I set that up, and I wasn't really sure about it. Now, over here, we can definitely set up a little city center, and let's go ahead and try and make a bit of a better one than I did on the last one, shall we? Okay, that should be a lot better for any potential roads. Now, I am going to have to hook this one up to some stone resources, and actually, probably bringing them up from over here is going to be a better option, though that will take a very, very long time to do. Maybe I could also have a connection down here. Sure, let's go ahead and hook this up, and then we'll add on a couple of extra bits and bobs at the top here, just to make sure that we're not putting too much pressure on this one long road that we've got going on. Let's just bring that around to here, and then I'm going to want to connect that up down there, like so. And I'm also going to want to bring this one all the way across, if I can, to there, and then down like so. Right, there we go. This one can then connect up. We will have a route just going all the way through, I think, but then we'll have a couple just heading out as well. Since I'm possibly going to be bringing the resources from multiple directions, I think this one will work out the best for us. Now, that isn't to say that this is going to be the most efficient. I'm really not sure how the game assigns its paths just yet, but let's try and make sure that anything else we're bringing from down here goes in on this side. And in fact, to that end, let me just remove that. Oh, it deleted the materials completely. Okay, well, let's go ahead and just pop that down over on this side. I need to get myself some water. We're going to want to grab, can I pop one in there? Yeah, sure. We're going to want to get some food as well. Let's make sure that that one goes in here if we can line it up. Perfect. And then finally we want some wood as well. There we go. All of this should hook up together. Now, removing these tiles, I'm fairly certain that that's going to have a detrimental effect on the overall output of the farm, but I'm not sure how aggressive that effect is quite yet. But there we go. We at least have a production of food, some wood up there as well. Maybe what I could do... Can I add a little filter over here? Let's have a look at filters. You can use filtration posts to block as many resources as you want from going through a specific road post. Yeah, I don't want... Can I add this in here? Can I just pop that there? Yes, I can, it looks like. Right, I don't want food or water coming through this route. I only want that to come from its local supplies. And in fact, I guess I could also say, don't bring down any lumber either. Let's just make sure that that is all reserved where it's at right now. How are the houses doing down here? We're up to 30 of 90. Very, very nice. Okay, we only have a little ways to go, though. We're very clearly going to need a lot more effort down here, I think. On that note, though, do we have access? No, we don't have access to small warehouses yet. We've got to get 100 population of our own settlements, it seems, to be able to hook that up, which is actually a little bit of a problem. Maybe I do want wood coming up from down there, since it's not actually being used in this location right now. So sure, let's allow logs to be delivered. And for now, just going to pass a little bit of time. Okay, already noticing that the forester is desperately required, so let's go ahead and hook you up. Just make sure that you're getting everything you need, and let's do the same over here, because wow, they are going through these trees. Something rather fierce. I could even have a little one set up over on this side. Ultimately, having multiples is probably necessary in the long run. Still, let's just hook that one up in there, because I like the idea of the forester being in the middle of the forest. I mean, given enough time, it's going to do it anyway. But this way, again, coming back to my kind of headcanon of a forester being someone who plants and also harvests trees, but in a sustainable way, having them in the middle of an old growth forest is kind of nice, because then they can gather the drop wood from the old trees, never cut the old trees down, and instead, you know, just be a shepherd of the forest. There we go. Now let's have a look. We've got ooh, it looks like we're going to be building something new over here. Okay, we're already up to 20 population. Not going too bad. We should be at 100 before you know it, especially for you, because of editing. Settlement goal reached. Okay, there we are. We've got... that actually unlocked a lot of things. Let's slow things down for a second. Now then, highway. This is a really, really interesting one. You can drop anchors like normal, but highways are extremely high capacity. Also very fast, but significantly shorter, significantly larger minimum distances. Also, they can't deliver to buildings. You have to have a road to a building, but a highway can carry materials over a long, long distance. We've also unlocked the warehouses, going to be very important for us. We've got stone tool maker down here, and we have also got the furniture maker over here. Now, the furniture maker needs the stone tools, and it needs trees. But let's just go ahead and immediately set up the stone tool maker just down here. I think that would be grand, and I could probably fit you in a couple of places, but let's go ahead and just tuck you right in there and hook you up. There we are. Now, you should be able to deliver down here, but are we going to need to do that? That is a good question, because we now have highways, and I would very much like to use them. So let's go ahead, get rid of these. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I should have actually considered this. We're going to want that to be a regular road, because if we don't do it that way, it's not going to work for us. We will take all of this away. There we go. And now we're going to switch over to highway. So we're going to bring this all the way. Oh, my lord, this is fantastic. Right, I want that one hooked up right there, and I want it also, ooh, that's a G, not an F. There we go, brought straight down here. Ah, there we are. That is the bit of trouble there for us. So let me use an anchor there instead, and will that work? It will. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so that's going to be amazing for moving stuff around. But with the highway, we now have the option of setting up a little bit over here. Do I need a highway down here? I mean, there's no reason not to, I suppose, except for the fact that connecting up there is actually going to be a bit of a tricky one for us. Maybe I bring the highway down to here and then see if I can't connect it up. No? How long do you need? Wow, you actually do need to be quite far. Right, give me just a moment. This highway can be a nice coastal highway, just following the lay of the land a bit until we get down to around here, where we can hook up to these new stone mines. That's going to be fantastic because we've now got a delivery of stone going on up here. At this point, I very much don't want trees or stone moving around. I want that to be located in just one place. Now, do they ever need? No, they only ever require furniture. That's perfectly fine. Then I don't need to worry about it. All right, let's speed things along. You can actually watch how ridiculously fast the highway is. Also interesting, they do seem to have extra points on them. I wonder if they can ever carry more than one item. So far, we've not really seen more than one item ever be required in a location, so or rather stockpiled in a location, but I'm sure that will... In fact, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I think I might give the poor drivers a bit of concussion with these sharp bends. Sorry, my bad. I do feel bad. I'm not going to change it, though, but I do feel bad. However, what we really want is to get the stone toolmaker up and running, and then following on from that, we are going to want the wood furniture maker. Now, the wood furniture maker, I think, can probably go straight down here, and we'll have the stone tool maker go straight by there, and we'll just use a regular basic road to connect them. There we are. That should be perfect. Now, they shouldn't need any extra resources, though. One thing I am noticing is a dire lack of water around here. I suppose part of that is going to be because we're sending so much food over here. Maybe I could help out a little bit, since both actually, yeah, I've not connected these up. Both locations would benefit from having these materials available to them. So let me go ahead and just move this around. We're going to get another highway just going down to here. This one can then head in. There we go. And then this can come... Oh, that's the wrong one. That's F, not G. There we are. This one can go all the way up there, and we can have both locations gather stone from this one spot. That said, though, this does raise a little bit of a problem, since I do need to make sure that, again, this place isn't taking any of the materials that should only... Maybe I don't want this there, actually, anymore. Now that we've got that highway, I don't want that filter causing me too much of a headache, really. I wonder if I can have the filter on this tile. Let's see. I should be able to, yeah. Okay, so I don't want any tools being moved around here. Neither do I want any food or any water or any wood. I do want stone. Yeah, no, we'll just allow stone up this route. That should fix all of the problems. Ah, wait, no, I do need the food to be going down here, though. Damn Drat and Blast. Okay, well, food can move around. Hopefully, the two cities aren't going to share their food too much, because ultimately, I would rather the food go to the nearest city, but I guess if there is a surplus in one city over the other, then why wouldn't you want that? In fact, talking about surpluses, how about we set up a little area for such things? We can have something there and something right there. There we go. We'll connect these up. There we are. And this one can be for water, and this one can be for food. Though ultimately I'm also going to need... Oh, wait, they don't require water here, so this would just be stone tools. How they're getting by without water, I don't know, but fair enough. If that's all you need, that's all you need. Let's do similar over here. There we go. Now, this one does need water, it does need food, and it will also need furniture. So let's get those all hooked up. That's fantastic. Now, what would be really nice? Is there a one-way street or something like that? Because that would be kind of amazing. It doesn't look like it, though. Oh, my lord. Have I just gotten spoiled? I have. Look at all of the different resources on that wheel. My good lord. I do approve, but wow. Ooh, we're allowing those tools to move through here, and we really shouldn't. That should not be something that's permitted to pass. Really, is there any reason to have this street there? No, I don't think so. I think we can probably safely remove this highway at this juncture. There we go. A little bit more water down here. I don't think we're going to need more than a single farm for the native population. They seem to be doing quite well. But we're definitely starting to feel a bit of a hurt on the food up on this side. So I've added in even more water availability here. Specifically because we do actually need the water for the houses as well. So having 3 of them should help out a little bit, I would hope. The other thing we could do is obviously also hook up a quick highway connection here, perhaps. Can I get something in there? Yes, I can, in fact. Okay, well, let's do that. We'll hook up the highway, and we'll also have just a regular road then connecting that side, just in case if we want water going down here, that'll have the fastest possible route there. But we are seeing that some of the water needs are not being met, and that is just not okay. Not okay at all. Oh my lord. Okay, so they are definitely gathering multiple things at a time. Okay, that's actually kind of cool to see, but also the fact that that was completely chockers was not a great thing. What I will do is I will add another little connection point there so that they can move these things out and around the city a little bit easier. There's multiple routes now for the food to take, so this road gets a little bit less congested. I think that would actually help out quite a lot. Water is definitely a big problem for us, though. That is something we're absolutely going to need to do. And you know what? Let's go ahead and hook this up on that side, since the furniture could then just come straight down. It doesn't really need to be going around that highway. I'm not at all sure why I was having it do that. It seems horribly, grossly inefficient of me. But we have managed to reach the native population goal, which is fantastic. Water is a continuing problem for us over here. But if we have a look through here, it is getting a little tiny bit better as time goes on. Now, the next big thing we're going to need to do, you might notice, we need to get up to 700 population there to win this level. There is no way that this can possibly equal 700 population. So we're going to need to set up a new city center and get that on the go. Okay, I've added in some extra food, some extra water, and we've prepared a little city over here for us. Though I'm thinking I would like a little bit of a connection there, just so that we can have the highway hook up to that. There we go. And this one will come all the way down here and hook up there. There we are. Perfect. Now, they are going to start drawing materials from all over the place. I would very much like the highway over here, though, as well, to connect up so that we can have some connection between these two locations. At this point, I'm seeing less and less reason to have any kind of filtering going on, though I do appreciate that is probably still a bit of an important one. To that end, I wouldn't... Wow, they've absolutely drained everything out of here. Is it possible for me to have... No, it's a little bit too short. Let me remove this road there. There we go. Oh, did that just destroy everything there? Well, that will suck. And no mistake. Let's bring this over here and then up and around. There we go. That way I can add on a little bit of a filter. There we go. Now, what I don't want happening is I don't want the tools being brought up through here. I don't want furniture moving through here. I don't necessarily mind the wood moving up, but I would rather not take the water or the food from this location. I am a-okay with gathering up the stone, though. That is absolutely fine. That should allow us to get this up and running pretty sharpish, actually. They're doing a fairly solid job of it. Now, if we have a look over here, yeah, 900 island population is to get the top goal. I don't think we really need to race towards that one, but we're almost certainly going to need a little bit more than we already have. So the next step is, as soon as the materials actually kind of settle down, the distribution of materials settles down, we're going to have to set up another fairly large city centre. I wonder if I can have multiple city centres overlap. That's a bit of an interesting question, isn't it? And here we go, and there we are. Island settled successfully. You've settled 700 population. Like I said, if we wanted to go for the 900 islanders, we would have to expand this out to a third city centre, which I don't think is entirely outside of our reach. But for the sake of a first taste episode, I think it would be more interesting to jump onto the next island and see what that one has to offer us. So once again, we are heading straight back out to the main menu and on to the next island in the campaign. Okay then, right, let's have a quick look at our objectives on the third island. This is Crystal Cove. We've got to complete the island population goal, which is to reach 3,000 island population and construct a monument. Very well. Ooh, have a look down here then. Let's have a look at you. Monument. We need timber, we need, by the looks of cut stone, and fancy furniture as well. Okay then, right, let's have a quick look at our objectives on the third island. This is Crystal Cove. We've got to complete the island population goal, which is to reach 3,000 island population and construct a monument. Very well. Ooh, have a look down here then. Let's have a look at you. Monument. We need timber, we need, by the looks of cut stone, and fancy furniture as well. Now, we can see some iron ore on this map. We've also got some coal, which is probably going to be necessary to use with the iron ore, one would imagine. Alright then, well, let's get things started. Let's have a look through what we've got unlocked. Okay, yeah, we've pretty much got the basics, and it seems like it'll always be just those basics at the start. I think we're going to go ahead and just make use of that little pool there to its fullest straight away. And you know what? We might even go straight ahead and set up a couple of farms over here, much in the same way. I don't see really any reason not to, though. Let's draw these just aside a little bit so I can run a road straight down there. Right now, with that done, let's get the roads going. We'll go down there. There we are. And another one over to there. And that gets us all of the apples that we're going to need. And on that note, we are both going to need stone and wood as well for setting up a little area. So let me go ahead and get all of those built. There we go. We've got our stone down there. We've got 2 lumber yards and a forester in between, and then a sawmill besides. Okay, I think we're going to have our first little area built up over here. Seems like a nice big area for us to do this. Let's start laying it down. And again, I'll probably go with a different design to laying out the houses. I'm going to continue experimenting until I find something that I particularly like, I should imagine. Okay, here we go. And my plan is eventually to have a highway connect up just there. And then each one of these branches has only a couple of facilities on it. This one has the most. This one has 5 facilities if you include the city hall, but 4 houses basically. 3 houses there, 3 houses on this road. So once we do get to the point of highways, that should work out quite nicely for us. But for the time being, let's, oops, I meant to make that an anchor. Let's just bring this out like so, and anchor it in there, as that will eventually be our highway, and it'll also be replacing all of that, I should imagine. Right, now, with that done, it shouldn't take us too terribly long to get all of this set up. So what remains now is to see, can I actually mine any of this? No, I cannot. I've got a stone quarry, stone mine. I wonder how that works and how that differs. Perhaps, oh, this is a coal quarry. That's an iron quarry. Perhaps a mine is just a static building that once you build one, it will just continually produce. And maybe it doesn't need to be built near a deposit. Or maybe it needs to be built over a deposit. I'm excited to find out how that is going to work. Either way, though, let's let a few moments pass so that we can get all of these built up. And there we go. We have got our town up and running, which means that we should start requesting materials now. Oh, interesting. The city centre itself can now upgrade. It needs water. It needs... oh, no, sorry. It needs... I believe the way that we should read this is eventually it's going to be able to upgrade once we bring timber and cut stone. This is merely showing that we've currently got 0 out of the 60 potential population who would be achieved by bringing water to the settlement. And likewise down here, we've got 0 out of 60 of the food. Though, honestly, it does occur to me that why am I doing it this way when I could simply connect up there? It is probably going to flood this road in particular, but let's make sure that people aren't thirsty when we could very easily resolve that problem for them. Now then, we are going to need to get our population up, I should imagine, in order to achieve the next milestone. If we have a look at these, it'll tell us what we're going to need. 100 there, but what I'm really interested in is the mines. It doesn't really tell me... Ooh. It seems... Well, we might not be going for that one. We need 450 to unlock the coal quarry and 750 to unlock the iron quarry. My lord, you're not asking for much, are you? Long before then, we're going to need to get our tools up and running, which we will unlock at 100, and also the wood furniture maker. Ah, we can also see what this is. Leather furniture maker. Oh, where are we going to get the leather from? Let's have a look down here. Ah, well, sorry. Settlement goal reached. While you were away, I also went to the effort of setting up a production of water and of food down here just to service the quarry. Over here, I'm just restricting food and water from passing through this so that this area doesn't get too congested. Though on that note, we now have access to the highway. So let me go ahead and quickly update a few things. There we go. That is so very much better there. All right. Now, with all of that in place, we are... Well, we'll get to the warehouses in a moment. But we need to set up some stone tool manufacturing. Now, I could make the stone tools and indeed the furniture down here. That way I could have the stone and the wood both come down to a little location here and then be carried on. And I kind of like that idea of having distinct kind of industrial or business areas, should we get to the degree of business over anything else. That also would allow me to have a separate storage for some of those materials. So let me go ahead and just lay this down here. We're going to want, let's have the storages be the first thing that come in here. We will need, I believe, stone and wood for that one, and for you it is simply tools. Ooh, actually we are also going to need the lumber itself rather than the well, again, this feels like timber. We'll just call this logs. We'll call this trees. For some reason, we're making the furniture out of trees. Don't ask. It is not ours to question why. All right, there we go. We'll just pop that one down right there. And we'll pop you. Sure, we can have that one right about there as well. And we just hook all of these up like so. Right, let's have a look at you. Do you actually require... Yeah, you do indeed require trees. I don't even. Very well. Well, in that case, I'm also going to want the trees to be stored down here. So actually, that was a little bit preemptive there to pop that in location. I'll be honest with you. I was kind of assuming that I was just, getting it wrong. I'm not sure why we need whole trees in order to make the furniture, but again, ours is not the question why. So I'll just pop this one down there, then we'll get the furniture area just down at the bottom, or I could even have it branch off over here, honestly, which probably isn't a terrible idea, all things considered. There we go, we can just hook those up like so. Right, I would like you to start storing the stone, I would like you to start storing the logs, and you can store the saplings that we're going to turn into furniture for reasons. Over here, though, we've got a number of things that we're going to need. We need water, we need food, and indeed, we need the precious furniture. Now, how are we going to set up the storage of that? Honestly, this needs to be a part of something I factor into building these areas as well. It's something I haven't done up to now, and now I am suddenly very aware of the lack of it. However, I guess one thing we could do down here is just have a storage of water, perhaps. There isn't a bad thing about that. Can I place that there? Will this work for me? Will that work? I mean, technically I should be able to do it. Yes, I can. Marvelous. Okay, well, let's go. Oh. Apparently no. It will let me do it, but then it decides not to. So let's just get rid of that road for now then. And instead, let's bring this up. Well, you know what? Sure, we could take it just straight up there. And then instead have this branch off. Oh, that was my bad. Have this branch off and anchor point there. There we go. That will work. This can happily be my storage of water. There is no particular problem with that. And honestly, the food is just as likely to be able to reach over here in exactly the same way. So let's go ahead and pop an extra storage location there. And we can assign this one to food. However, we are most definitely going to want a different location for our delivery of furniture. And to that end, let's just go ahead and... Can I just anchor that at all? No? Well, can I do that? I can. Marvelous. Okay. I deeply approve. Now let's pop that one in there, and hopefully we will find that furniture can then go in there. Let's have a watch. Is there any visual distinction that when something is connected to the road in that way? I'm not actually sure. Nevertheless, we've got that in position. Now, for the next thing that we're going to really want to get, that's a far away objective. But do we have any further processing? Well, we do have for the stone, 225, which is actually within the range of our current setup here. But what about the proper timber? 225 on that one as well. We may find that this one little center may actually upgrade more. Now, whether this would allow the houses to upgrade? It would. Interesting. Both the houses and the city centre, which would imply that more houses beside can be hooked up. Now, I haven't really built this city centre with that in mind, but I guess we'll find out how all of that will go in just a little bit. Now, as for down here, honestly, I would kind of like a little storage of food over here. I think that would be grand. However, remember that these areas, the highways cannot connect to a building. So I am going to have to hook that one up like so. This way we should get plenty of food just in storage there waiting. Now, how's everything going down here? Everything is more or less going down here as it needs to, which is perfect. And we've not really got any kind of roadblocks over here, despite the fact that we're sending quite a lot of material. Ah, there we are. That's what I was really hoping for, is to see that actually store something up. Okay, well, given that then, all that remains now is a bit more time to pass, so I'm going to click on this button, and I will see you in just a second. Settlement goal reached, just as I was busy setting up a new highway. We're going to have this highway connect up there. There we go. This should bring plenty of water down here, because I was noticing that we're never really stockpiling the water. We're going through it a little bit too fast. If you meet the requirements, you can upgrade city centres to support more houses. Upgrading houses will also raise the population capacity. That is fantastic. Do I have to specifically tell them to upgrade, however? Maybe I do. Let me see. That one, can I specifically tell you that you're allowed to upgrade? Seems that I can, though I will first need to get the materials that we've now unlocked available for us. So yeah, we can build a large city centre. We can just straight up build a house. That's the construction requirements for those in particular. We can now make a juice maker. Okay, so that might be a new requirement for the larger houses, I should imagine. But for the time being, we've got a carpenter's workshop. Now, this one does need stone tools and some logs, and this will create lumber. Well, since I've already got that more or less all set up down here, I don't see any reason not to just hook that into our current industrial area. I think that would work very, very nicely there. What do we have over here? We've got the cut stone, and once again, we've already got all of the infrastructure in place. So again, I see absolutely no reason not to just hook that up like so. The tools can be passed down the line, fed in there, and then we've got a production of the new materials. Now, these I am not going to stockpile at this location because it's more of a building resource. It will be sent as and when, though perhaps there is some value to stockpiling some of them just around here, just as a building resource for the future. Does beg the question, though, of would I just end up causing a massive roadblock? Well, I guess there's only really one way to find out for sure. It is time for us to for science something. Right, okay, there we go. I have set these up, though I do not expect them to get very full. Oh, okay, apparently I should have been expecting them to get very full. I guess I haven't actually told them to start upgrading, so maybe it is a case that I need to tell them first. Upgrade requirements aren't met. Will they deliver these materials over time? Or perhaps they can only be delivered. I might have to upgrade the town centre before I can support the level 2 houses. That's a bit of an interesting choice. It wouldn't have been my first assumption on this system. And in fact, in some games which have a very similar mechanic, sometimes it's nice to just upgrade the houses without upgrading the larger capacity. I'm quite fond of doing that in Factory Town, for example. But okay, now we've got everything else unlocked. We can now have 15 houses. Okay, well, that's not terribly bad. I guess I could branch off another road in this direction, maybe another road in this direction too, but I do think that there is a potential that I'm going to want to hook up to all of the iron down here. So how about I just take this out in this direction first before I do that? From there, I think I could happily have houses along there and along here. Sure, let's go ahead and set that up. There we go, and these can effectively have 2 separate lines. Again, they are... This tiny little connection road here is going to be quite busy, but I'm hoping that the incredibly small distance, I still haven't observed enough to be able to say with any great certainty, but I don't believe that it is perfectly static, especially, it's a little bit easier to see when we're on a slower speed, but I don't believe it is only static. That is to say, across a longer road, the transporter simply moves faster, so there's always a set period of time that it takes to move something from one node to the next node along it, you know, with all other things being equal. A road is a road is a road, and it'll always take X much time to move from point A to point B, no matter how far apart those points are. I do believe there is some increase in speed when the route is particularly short, but again, a little bit more observation is necessary before I can say that with any great degree of certainty. And what I will say, though, is that I would very much like to upgrade these in batches. We're going to go through each side one at a time, just so that we don't overwhelm everything. But what is the next thing that we're going to be looking for down here? Can I unlock that? I can unlock the water pump, okay, and the seawater filter. Ooh, now that one's going to be a very interesting one. Seawater filter. We'll also be able to get medium warehouses. These can store more, significantly more components. Oh, and they can store multiple materials. Oh, that will make those fantastically better. Okay, a big fan of that, actually. Now, let's have a look at you. What do you need differently? Ooh. Specifically, you are going to need the juice now. It seems that unlike certain, again, other games in this genre, you don't inherit the level 1 requirements. They don't even, it isn't even the case that they just become less weighted, so you need less of them than you used to. It's straight up, you need completely different things. Okay, well, then that means we now do rather desperately need to set up some juice makers. Now, I could set some up over here. That wouldn't be a terrible choice. Or alternatively, I could have them delivered down here. Now, that is quite a ways for the juice to have to take, I must confess. So, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to drop another little node there. Well, actually, we could probably afford to make all of these highways here. So that... highway up there. Oh, of course, because that is a physical thing. The filter there. Very well. Let me move this around just a little bit better then. Let's do something. At that point, it won't be able to cross. So I will have to have an anchor. There we go. Anchor there. This way, anything produced here can go all the way up. All right, let's set up one of these. Now, it isn't a particularly large structure, so shouldn't be too difficult for me to set all of this up. Though I am going to want a... I could have this over here, for example. Sure, we'll pop that there, and what I will also do is I will have a little warehouse for the delivery of, for example, I could even have this one down here. In fact, I kind of like that more. We'll have a little road down there and a little road across, and we're going to have just the lumber being brought down there. That should work out quite well for us. Now over here though, we are going to need a new warehouse just about there for the delivery of the juice. Now once we've got the medium warehouses, I'm really hopeful that this will fit in this spot here. I didn't quite see how big they were. Yeah, they're 3x3, so we should be able to fit one in there and still have it connect up. And if that can take 3 things at once, that's going to be amazing for us, because I could store, for example, apples, water, and the chairs, and the juice. Though, again, if these only require the level 2 materials, then that's not... we're not going to need these anymore going forward, which is a bit of an interesting one. Either way, let's now that we've got that being made, let's go ahead and upgrade some more of them. Hopefully, we'll start seeing juice being delivered. Yep, we can see some down there. Might want to expand the production, though. Might want to make it closer over here. The reason why I wasn't doing that initially is I was reserving some of these produce because I didn't want to put too much strain on the system already, and since some of the food has to go down there as well. However, thinking about it, there's not much reason if these simply switch over what they require to have this being stockpiled here. So maybe we should go for the juice over here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that here as well then. So we want another... warehouse. That one can just be there. We will have that for lumber. We will just connect up there, and then we will place down a juice maker as well. We can have you right there. There we are. That should help out a fair old bit. If we have a look in here, I am restricting quite a lot of things going up through this road, but for the most part this should be okay, I should imagine. Okay, now I've hooked up the monument, so it's going to start pulling in the construction materials, but of course there's 50 of the leather furniture that we're not going to be able to set up, and I believe I have a much better understanding of the way this works. One thing I didn't notice immediately while I was upgrading things, you probably did, and well done to you if you did, is that when we were replacing these houses, they didn't maintain their original population, which was, with a fully maxed tier 1 house, 24. Now, with only 1 out of the 4 requirements fulfilled, we've got 18. So overall, a level 2 house will give us more population, but right now we can't satisfy the other requirements. One way I could liken this is a freshly, it's kind of topical now, a freshly released Civilization game is not as fun as the fully expanded, all DLC included previous version of a Civilization game. It never is. Civilization 5 wasn't as good as fully expanded Civilization 4. It took several DLCs before it finally caught up to and eventually did overtake Civilization 4. And likewise, these houses. Yes, they will eventually be so much better. But right now, they are the bare bones, only the base game. No DLC included in these houses. It's going to be a little while. So, while we're waiting for all that, because to unlock the DLC I need a higher population limit, we're going to set up a new area down here. And I might well just go ahead and keep this one at a fairly modest level. We've got plenty of water available to us, so that's not something I'm going to worry about. However, one thing I would quite like to do is make sure that we're bringing in some decent amounts of food, since those are the primary things we're going to need. Can I pop down a point along here at all? Doesn't look like it. That is very, very much a shame. Okay, well, I'm going to get rid of that then. We're going to try and see, can I drop anything in there? Maybe, maybe not. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, that's not ideal at all. Let me just pause it there, because I've just completely undermined my my system here, and we'll see about hooking that up like so. Can I connect that there? Yes, I can. Okay, well, that's marvelous then. That will do everything I need it to, and I can still go ahead and have these just connect up over some longer roads. Right, let me go down and place in some more housing, though this time we will also account for the fact that if I'm going to keep these at a low level of requirements, I'm going to be going with only 3 warehouses for water, food, and indeed furniture. And there we go. We've got our new area now hooked up to the grid. Though I'm going to want to put down, again, like I said, a couple of farms just over here, just to make sure that everything is kept going, and this one will connect up quite comfortably. That one is very low productivity there. That one, actually, yeah, it's not too bad. It is still saying it's full productivity at the end of the day, so I guess I'm just going to have to trust it. Now, this area is getting quite congested, so there's no real reason why that has to go down there. So instead, we will connect that up along the top there, just to maybe take a little bit of the pressure off, because we've got several of the highways under quite a hefty strain here. Notice that this one can't drop anything off until something is taken out, and then it has to wait a little bit longer. There we go, you've managed to drop everything off. Fantastic. But part of this is because we've just set them up to do a huge amount of construction all at once. So these are peak demand on those roads. It's not really what we're going to be building the roads for, but still it's something to keep an eye on. Everything over here is looking grand. We're at 300 of 300, and down here hopefully we'll be at 240 of 240 in the blink of an eye. And here we go, creeping ever closer to the 450 mark. Now, it occurred to me that if I did want to push this a little bit further, I could afford to upgrade the city centre, since that will simply allow me to have more houses, and I could just leave those houses at a lower tier without any particular problem. I can already see easy access to place down 2, and so I guess I could put the another 3 up here, though it will be a little bit further away from where we're stockpiling resources, which is a little bit of a concern, but it's not the biggest concern overall. In fact, once this is set up, hopefully we'll be able to get that on the go pretty simply. We've got plenty of resources being brought down here, though when we'll see any of the cut stone is anyone's guess, as this area is also dealing with quite a lot of congestion. There's quite a lot of throughput around here. Perhaps making a bypass wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. We're just waiting on some cut stone at this point, though. What are we waiting for cut stone down? We are lacking the tools. Do we? Well, we've got enough material. It's just that there is so much congestion along these lines. I wonder if there's any way of upgrading that, or if it is simply a case that we just need to manage the demands a little bit better. You know what? There is probably one thing I could do, and that is this: just create a little entrance at the back of the industrial park, because this is getting way out of hand. Still, we're all the way up to 536. Now, with that done, we should be able to look at producing a new food type, and that is the bakery, which is going to require wheat and also, finally, coal. Okay, well, we knew that coal was going to be required before too long. Charcoal maker. Oh, do we need... It looks like coal and charcoal are more or less exactly the same thing. That's actually quite good to see. As far as the water pump goes, though, this requires wheat, but produces quite a lot more water. And it produces 3 every 5 seconds, whereas this produces 1. The water well produces 1 every 7. The seawater filter will produce 2 every 20 seconds for coal. That doesn't seem like the best return. We've got trains. Place a train station to move a lot of resources in bulk between them. Okay, now that opens up some really big possibilities for us, though I am wondering if that would actually work in this current setup. I feel like trying to shoehorn this in here would not be the best idea. We do have a lot of resources being moved around, but not over any great distance right now. I suppose sometimes we would have some moving all the way down there, but I guess maybe a train station moving through here might be useful, but I would be going out of my way to create a use case for it, rather than actually seeing an immediate use and then using it to fill. And that's always a problem with these sorts of games. It's very easy to get pulled in. Each warehouse building can hold a single resource type, and you have the flexibility to change it at any time. Well, I mean, that's not entirely true, though, is it? I mean, evidently, we can store anything in there. Oh, unless... Ah, I see. It isn't that it is allowed to hold... Oh, I didn't realize that. It looks like you can switch this over to holding something else, and it'll just maintain what's already in there and eventually ship it out as the need arises. It's not that this was specifically being set up to hold up to 3 different resources. It was just the fact that it was being changed what resource was being stored at any one time. Okay, that's a little bit less useful for us then, but I have something to work on. That is very clearly we need a bakery, which means we need coal. Somebody tell the children that their yearning for the mines will soon be over. Oh, good lord, wheat farms are absolutely gigantic. Am I really that surprised? No, not really. Nevertheless, that is still a lot of room for this. I wonder how much it produces, though, and whether I will need to really worry about this or not. Either way, the wheat farms are going to need quite a lot of water, so that is definitely something we're going to want to set up. Do we actually need all of the water set up down here as is? There's a question there. Either way, let's go ahead and set up a quick highway, which, oh, we won't be able to set it up there, unfortunately. I wonder, how far does this need to go? Can I hook this up? No, not directly. But if I were to place this there, and then this one over here, can I hook that up? Establish and construct 2 train stations. Link the 2 stations with a train rail. And set the station's output. Okay, there we go. Link these 2. Can I anchor that? Yes, I can. Marvelous. That goes very, very quickly. This one will output water, and this one will output bread. Alright, we'll see how this works. It looks like it is reserving the carriages, though. And it looks like it specifically hangs around for it. I'm really not sure that this makes much sense. It's less immediately reactive. Can I set this up to... Well, let's turn this to bread, perhaps? Why is water not being delivered? Maybe this one needs to be bread. And this one needs to be water. Yes, I see. Okay, I get you. That one needs to be bread. I had it the other way around. I was thinking in terms of what do we be bringing over there and outputting into this line, but it was the other way around. What is it going to be collecting from this side and outputting into the network? Right. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, it can carry an enormous amount of material, though. That is... very much appreciated. That is very, very much appreciated. Now, will that just go back if it can't offload? It does go back. Okay, well, that is reasonably interesting. Though it does seem that it only connects up 2 points, which is a bit less useful, I would say. Now, how long does this require to produce? 10 seconds for 2. Well, that should be fine, one would hope. You require coal, though, and the coal... is going to be a different matter entirely. Let's go ahead and set up a little bit of something there. A little bit of something here, just so I've got a connection point. And then we will bring that all the way down. Now, obviously, this was just to test what we could do with this. I feel that the roads are definitely more responsive overall right now. Still, that isn't a terrible little setup. In fact, I could just have wheat fields on this side if I really, really desperately wanted to, which might not be the worst idea. No, they're going straight down. They're bypassing this entirely. Oh well, you know, it was fun to see it work, okay? It was genuinely quite amusing. It's a shame that despite having such an enormous capacity, I really can only give it one type of product to be delivered, but oh well. That is the nature of the game. The highways, the roads, they're flexible. The railway has just got enormous capacity. It does make sense in the long run. But now we should be seeing some bread being delivered. Now that's got a hell of a long way to go, and in fact, so much of a long way to go, you know, that maybe, just maybe, we could set this up a little bit different. Look, don't question my methods. This is perfect, I tell you. It's a stroke of genius. Right, we are going to be having this collect up the bread specifically, and we're simply not going to be bringing anything else down there, though I suppose I could, if I really wanted to, I could bring down some water if there is a need. Since the bread is going to be being sent up there, I suppose there's no harm in it. What we will do down here, though, is I'm going to pop down another wheat field, or maybe not quite there. Let's pop this one just down here instead, and we'll have a little road connect up there, and then finally we will have this in position as well. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to need, frankly, so let's just leave room for me to be able to add more over time. Now, once that is all set up, one of the things that we're going to be able to do over here is switch this out. It's quite a large one though, but it will produce more faster than these two will. So let me just go ahead and get rid of that. We are going to place in one of these bad boys. There we go. 75% efficiency. It's not the greatest, but it should be okay. There we go. And we are also going to want a nice big stockpile for all of the wheat as well, or rather the bread. I keep calling it wheat. There we go. And hook that up, and we will set this one up to contain the bread. Right, hopefully we're going to start seeing that. Oh, where is that off to? They're taking that elsewhere. Oh, is it? Are they really taking it all the way over there? Is that genuinely what they're doing? Those silly sausages. Got the bread just down here. There we go. Now they understand how to use the trains. Perfect. Right, we'll have water coming from multiple different directions. We'll have the bread being brought directly up there and sent straight in, which is going to be marvellous. And obviously also sent over to all of the homes here, though until that happens, the water there is going to be a little bit awry, unfortunately, which is a little bit of a worry. I'm disliking that the bread is taking this route. It's probably for a very good reason. The game is saying, hey, no, you don't want to send the bread this way. That would be bad. That would be very, very dumb. Nevertheless, damn it, I've built this train and I intend to make use of it. Right, we do need more coal to be sent down here, though. So one of the things I'm going to do over here is make sure that coal isn't allowed through this particular route there, just to ensure that it does go all the way around that way. There we go. That should help out a little bit more. Now, how long does it take? It takes 20 seconds to make 2 bread. And over here, it takes 20... sorry, is it 11? 10 seconds there. Oh, it's because those are 100%. 10 seconds to make 2 wheat, 1 coal in 20 seconds. So honestly, yeah, we can definitely afford to have a second one of these up and running as well, I think. So let's go ahead and hook that up, and that should help out a little bit. We need more and more bread being delivered down here at all times, especially to this place, which is desperately in need of the bread to be able to run the pump. There we go. We're starting to see the output over here being quite a lot better. That is starting to genuinely look good now. We're bringing in plenty of water. The bread is being loaded up. And our population is rising as a direct result. There we are. Some bread is going this way. Some bread is going that way. Okay. Not bad at all things told. Yep, there we are. Bread moving around. People are generally quite happy. And now, as a consequence, all of our tier 2 houses are up to 42, which is very, very nice indeed. And if at this point we can afford to go ahead and upgrade these, which I'm going to try and do, that should take the pressure off all of the required materials. So we won't need the food here, we won't need the water being stockpiled, we won't need the furniture being stockpiled. It'll all just be the juice and indeed the bread. Hopefully our bread production will be able to keep pace. We are producing quite a lot at this point, so I'm reasonably confident about it. But while all of that's going on, let's go ahead and add in a couple more houses down here. There we go. That's probably going to cause a little bit of a congestion along the highway there, but this should easily be able to keep pace with everything that we're bringing in. And we should very soon reach our next milestone goal of 750, which in turn is going to give us access, I believe, to iron ore. Yeah, there we go, the iron quarry. Now, what are we going to need for this? 1,200. Once again, it's going to take us a little while. Okay, new buildings unlocked. Quite a few of that. We've now got access to the paper factory. We've got access to the iron smelter. We've got access to iron toolmaker. And we've got access to the iron quarry. The question is what we need it for. And we need paper for the houses to push them that little bit further. Now then, let's have a quick look at paper. Paper is going to require iron tools and lumber in not significant supply, so I'm not too concerned about this one. But let's set up something new, I think, over here. We're also going to want the iron smelter. So we're going to want coal, iron ore, and wood. That will allow us to produce... we're going to need stone tools as well. Well, I guess the stone tools are just down there. So I'm not going to worry too much about getting all of that down here. But let's set up some small, or rather large, storages for these materials. So first and foremost, I'm going to want the iron ore. I am also going... Well, actually, thinking about it, maybe I should just bring the coal up there, do the smelting right next to the iron, and then bring the finished iron ingots down here. That would probably be a little bit more useful to me, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, in that case, we might not even need this second building there. We'll just take that away. All right, well, let's set up the smeltery over here then. We will want first to get the coal in position, so let's set that one up. We aren't going to need a storage for the iron ore because we're going to be producing that on site, which is going to be quite nice. Let's pop that one down there and pop this one in there. That's also 100%. Fantastic. Let's get these, both of these hooked up. Something like that should do. There we go. Hook you up there. And then finally, we want the smelter. And that is going to require no particular tools, just we need access to the ores. So there we go, the iron manufactory in position. Right, okay. Now then, we are going to want the iron tools. Got the stone tools, which should easily be able to be brought up from down below. Can I get a good position on this? Not easily, unfortunately. Not easily. I guess, well, just for the sake of it, we'll pop it about here. So I've still got a path for them to go in that direction. And then we want the paper factory or paper mill. Let's pop one just down about there. And that should take care of that. Now we're going to need... Well, we don't need this anymore, so we can switch this one over to paper, I suppose. Oh, did it just delete them? That's not what it was doing in the picture. I have some questions to ask about this. That was not great. Oh well. We've got all of the iron ingots that we could possibly want down here. It takes 10 seconds to produce 2 of those. We only need 1 every 30 seconds to produce some paper, and it'll produce 2 of. We've got a lot of demand for paper over here, though. I'm a little bit concerned about it. Hopefully, they go through paper quite slowly. We'll see. I must say that the addition of the paper is absolutely shocking. Only 2 levels in and it's already adding an extra 20. We're up to a potential of 72 people in each one of these houses. Though a lot of that does come down to how quickly we're able to make the paper, and that is not very quick at all, I must confess. So I'm thinking we're going to add in a second one down here. And there's a little part of me that does maybe want to add another storage area, just so that we've got some extra lumber being stored down here as well. I think that might not be a terrible idea, considering how quickly we're making use of that. Now, that being said, it actually does use it very, very slowly when I think about it. So maybe we just don't need that. Nevertheless, I've set that up now, so we'll see how it goes. But hopefully, the addition of a second paper mill will help out in making sure that we're reaching the goals over here. We are almost at the next milestone target of 1,200, but I'm not storing any paper whatsoever, and that is a little bit of a problem. The more I play through the game, the more I realize that things like maybe industrial parks, I do think they have a use, but maybe not with as many different outputs as this. Maybe if I kept it just one or two things, that would be, yeah, let's say two things in a production area. That would actually be quite cool, I think. Right, okay, so we have reached the next item on our list, and we can, in fact, now build a cow farm. We can grow our own beefs. And in addition to that, we can make a wood factory, which turns, what? Oh, so, one bread and one tree into two, I guess, but I don't really think that's that useful to me right now. Because I've got an enormous surplus of just regular food, that isn't as useful to me at the moment, but I can see how that would be useful later on. We are going to need hide, so I'm probably going to need a tannery down here, and that's going to require more iron tools. Are we producing enough? I would say at the moment that we probably are. So given that, I feel emboldened to go ahead and set the... really, it's one too short. That is most vexing. We'll set this one up over here, but I do need to set up the cow farm. Now, the cow farm is directly going to want to access all of the wheat. Doesn't want the bread, obviously. So we're going to need to set that one up probably somewhere down here. Could I set that up? I wonder. Putting it there wouldn't work, but putting it over here apparently would easily. Can I hook up a little road there? No. Can I get a road anywhere in this? No, I can't. Well, that is a bit of a shame. That would have been ideal. I guess I could perhaps just run a little road up the back here. That probably wouldn't be terrible. Yeah. Yeah, no, that would probably work out reasonably well for me. Yeah, sure, we can bring that out just a little bit, and this one out just a little bit, and then have a little highway that will make that trip for us. Sure. Though, then we've got to get the cows out from this location, which is a little bit more of a tricky proposition. I obviously don't want them to have to go all the way around there. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to have to bring them all the way up here either. But nevertheless, that does look like what we're going to have to do over on this one. Well, we'll just have the I'm not going to go through the forest. Come on now. It might be more efficient, but I don't care. There we go. Let's take... I'm sending the cows directly to the tannery. That's usually not how this works. But okay. Maybe it's also making glue out of their hooves. Who knows? Nevertheless, well, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be making it out of their... Well, I think they do make glue, or you can make it out of cow hooves. It's just ligaments are usually the things you do it out of. And I'm not really aware that cow ligaments are particularly the premium glue manufacturing component. Or the very least, that wouldn't seem to be what common wisdom suggests. Nevertheless, at this point, it is just a matter of letting that build up, and now we can have a look at the final piece of the puzzle, and that is, of course, the leather furniture maker. We can pop that one. Sure, we can just tuck that one right at the end of the line down here. I see no reason not to. That should pull a decent amount of furniture up from down here. That should get delivered over there. The monument, well, hopefully, we'll get a bit more of the interest there. And now that we're only delivering furniture down to this location, that shouldn't be too terribly bad. Though what I could also do is throw down another storage area. I wonder if I can. Oh, I can. That's kind of amazing. Yeah, we'll have regular furniture being delivered there. Where's this going to go? It is going to go to our wonderful peeps over here. They are getting first dibs, apparently. Well done. Alright, well, in that case, let's go ahead and pop down... we'll pop down a smaller storage for the furniture, but that should help out a little bit. All right. I wonder if we're going to get the monument done before we hit our goal. We're very, very close. I should imagine we're going to hit the goal before we get the monument done. Unless I do a tricksy little thing and say, no furniture for you. No, I'm not going to do I mean, I could. You can keep playing. Just click on that button and just allow your current setup to run until everything is complete. But I think this is going to be a perfect place for us to wrap up this first taste. I really do hope you have enjoyed this glimpse into the world of Mini Settlers. I will confess that when I first saw the title of this game, I thought it meant mini as in tiny people, which I suppose, you know, they are quite small, especially from this distance. But nevertheless, it is more minimalistic rather than tiny people. Minimalistic settlers, and I really, really have thoroughly enjoyed this opportunity to share it with you. If you're interested in picking up the game, you can check out the video description down below for links on where you can get it. And while you're down there, if you enjoyed what you saw and you'd like to see more things like this on the channel, then do consider massaging those lovely buttons. But that is going to be it from me and from Mini Settlers for now. So until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.